I see it, Barry. This should be a very dynamite show.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a new edition of In Studio. I'm your host, Ted Perch, and today's program is going to be about a person, music, and an instrument. Earlier in the summer, I had the opportunity to visit the Boston suburb of Carlisle and visiting my friend David Williams, who, among other things, is a serious amateur cellist. He's been playing the instrument for over 60 years in various community ensembles and quartets. And it was the occasion that he had bought a new instrument, and we wanted to play it and test it out and give a demonstration of its tone and its sound. Now, he bought the instrument from Mihail Georgiatu, who is a cellist with the Boston Symphony Orchestra. So the instrument has a little bit of pedigree. So I took the opportunity to think that while I was presenting David's performance at his home, to introduce a few elements of the history of the cello, and so that you would have some background of where this was coming from. Now, the cello has been part of the modern orchestras for over 450 years. The first instrument was made in the mid-16th century by a man named Andrea Amati in Cremona, Italy. This instrument, now known as the King, is housed in a collection of the National Music Museum at the University of South Dakota. Now, the instrument, the cello, evolved from what was called the bass violin, and it was first used as an ensemble instrument, and it provided the bass line to that ensemble. It was a Baroque form known as the trio continuo, which actually 4 instruments, not 3. It usually was composed of 2 violins, a harpsichord, and the cello providing the bass line. So that's when the cello began its magnificent history as a performance instrument. And it's become a central figure in the music from the Baroque, Rococo, and now the classical form as we know it. The cello occupies that mid-tonal range that we all cannot help but respond to. It's also one of the most versatile instruments in the orchestra because sheet music can be written, and it can perform sheet music written in the bass clef, tenor clef, and the treble clef. So it has that wide range of functionality that a lot of instruments do not have. Now, any number of composers over the centuries have composed music for the cello. Bach, Beethoven, Dvorak, Brahms, etc., on and on. And we know a number of notable players: Pablo Casals, lately Yo-Yo Ma, Mstislav Rostropovich, and others. And we hear it a lot in film scores. It's a very versatile sound. We hear it a lot in film scores. Game of Thrones, Pirates of the Caribbean. And it's been adapted to a lot of popular music. We have the Beatles, Eleanor Rigby, Arcade Fire, and the Kronos Quartet, string quartet, who adopted Purple Haze from Jimi Hendrix. So with all of that as a bit of a background, I couldn't possibly go into a detailed history of the instrument and its performance. For that, you would need serious scholarship and more time to take to really discuss the instrument. But with just a little bit of background and all of that, here's my friend David Williams with a little bit of Bach. Now, there's a technical note here. I shot this video on my iPhone in David's house. So the technical quality is a little bit sketchy, a little bit bumpy, but the music comes through. So enjoy.
How many found that before you. Do you have any idea?
I have any idea. It was, it came from a closet in France. So,
Oh,
A closet in France.
yeah. Somebody, a luthier who lives in, over near Boston, I forget exactly the town. He had it, and someone else, one of his, he sold it to someone, and they sold it back to him, and then I bought it from them.
but it had sat unplayed for a while.
Well, actually, so this is an old instrument, and you can tell that it doesn't have much of a belly here.
Belly to it, yeah.
Yeah, so, which is weird, but. That makes it sound, it still sounds okay. And so this originally had an angle like this.
Wow.
A higher bridge,
Uh-huh.
and which is an old style, which means it was probably a cello that was played without an end pin.
Oh, okay,
It's
yeah.
the old cellos you just
Sat on
have
the
between
floor.
your legs and
Yeah.
play it that way. So if you look at it here, it has this little chunk on the end of
Yeah.
the part of the neck that's been added in so that it could be re-angled.
Yeah.
And this is actually a new bridge that I had. A guy in Concord made for me. Not quite in tune yet. I have to warm up too.
It's the most beautiful scales I've ever heard.
Really? Ooh, fun.
Now, there's a difference in sound whether you're playing on the edge of the bow or the flat part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. You get all the hair.
Yeah.
It's all right here.
Yeah.
So you hold the bow right here.
Yeah.
These two fingers right here, and then you put the edge into the string, and then you push from right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, very different.
Yeah.
It's,
Bigger too, so
it's
does
squat,
it-
it's
This is
squatter.
skinnier up here than up here too.
Yeah,
Yeah, this has, actually has a fatter neck.
yeah. So you have the bragging rights to say that this famous cellist actually played this. It came from his personal stash, and he played it.
He has a company where he sells cellos, and I bought it from him.
But he actually played it. See,
Oh, yeah.
so he played.
What was
this.
his name again?
Mihail Jojatu.
Yeah.
Remember the Boston Symphony? Remember the Boston Cello Quartet?
Oh, you're connected. That makes you connected.
I'm connected, yes.
Wow, that's got a much
Bigger sound.
bigger and somehow mellower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much more bass in the sound.
Yes. Yeah.
So one of the other things that I also got here was a new bow.
Ah, the bow's the thing.
The bow is the thing, and this is a bow that goes with that instrument because this is a bow from 1976,
Yeah.
which is a bow that I've owned for 40 years, and this is a bow from 1890,
Aha.
an old French bow. So if you can hear the difference in the sound here, this is a little softer actually, but. Oops.
Now, what kind of wood is the bow made out of?
So, yeah, the bows, modern bows are made out of Pernambuco wood, which is what this is made out of.
Yeah.
And it's a very, sort of stiff but supple type of wood. And this actually is not made out of Pernambuco.
No.
This is made out of something called amaret, which is like snakewood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a very old tropical wood.
Yeah.
And they didn't have Pernambuco back then.
Well, the sound is completely different. Like you
Oh
said.
yeah. Well, it's also it's less tense. Well, this is a very heavy bow and it's very stiff.
Yeah.
But this is a much less stiff bow, and it's like 3 grams lighter. And as a result, it's just, there's something about tension. You know, if the instrument is less tense,
Yeah.
you get more sound out of it.
Right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you know, actually, when Mihail set this instrument up, he says that, see, normally these are the strings that you use, the two red ones and these colors right here.
Yeah.
I won't get into the company names, but usually for these two strings, you use a version called the soloist version, which is actually a louder but tighter string.
Right.
And this has just regular on it. And what his philosophy is that the instrument, if you put too much tension on it, well, it might be okay for, you know, if you're sitting in front of the Bossa Symphony and you want the people in the last row to hear you. You know, if you're just playing normal music,
Right.
you don't really want that, because you want to be able to have less tension.
Right. Sure.
And it turns out the same thing is true with the bow. Okay, so this bow is much more tense. Even you know, you can tighten it up, whatever it is. But the whole thing. So if I play double stops with this instrument. So you hear the two strings basically together.
Yeah.
Okay, when you play with this instrument, you can hear the individual strings.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's right. Yeah.
So it's just something about just slightly less tense allows you to sort of, instead of when you pull, it's just pulling both strings, it's really, this one is actually pulling both strings individually.
Yeah.
So it makes it sound very different. So I'll play something for you.
Now what?
Play it. No, that's. I'm not gonna play. Sorry.
Oh, that's
Too
perfect.
much
That's
work.
So there you have it. David Williams performing a little bit of Bach on 2 instruments. I hope you enjoyed it. And so from all of us to all of you, I'm still Ted Perch, and I'm still the host of this program. And we'll see you next time on In Studio. Thank you very much. My parting words would be relax, have fun, and rest easy.
And aloha.
Aloha! Aloha! Thank you.